So Deebo Samuel is finally gone from the San Francisco 49ers. They just traded him to the Washington Commanders for a 5th round draft pick. His contract is now officially off the books for them and right on schedule with their timeline. Negotiations with Brock Purdy just started a few days ago, so hence why he is getting traded right now and not a couple weeks ago and not a few weeks from now. So they're quickly trying to get that deal done. Now, initial reactions to this move, I think it's definitely decent to only get a 5th round, to only trade away a 5th round draft pick from the Commanders' perspective. Pretty solid, pretty solid. I don't know why the Patriots didn't do this, but at the same time, I'm sure John Lynch did right by Deebo Samuel, and the Patriots probably offered a 4th round draft pick or a 5th round too, or maybe both for Deebo, but I would imagine that John Lynch probably gave him the option on where he wanted to go to, the Commanders or New England. It's a no-brainer move to play with Jaden Daniels and the Commanders over Drake May and the Patriots at this point in time, even though I think Drake May has a really bright future, especially with Mike Vrabel being the head coach there. But still, man, it's a no-brainer to play in Washington. So all the Patriots fans super angry about this move. That's probably why. Don't blame your team. It's kind of on Deebo, but yeah. So for Deebo actually on the Commanders, I definitely like it. It's a good move. It's another piece for Jaden Daniels to play with for sure, but I still think they need to add another legitimate wide receiver for this offense. I'm sorry, but anyone saying this is like a slam dunk move, being super excited and calling the Commanders unstoppable is just a casual fan. Tell me you didn't watch Deebo Samuel play a year ago without telling me you didn't watch him play a year ago. He was awful last year, man. Awful. An extremely injury-prone player past his prime, but I still think he has some juice left in the tank for the Commanders, and this is essentially a rental for them, so I don't expect them to re-sign them at the end of the 2025 year. So again, from the Commanders, great move, but they still need to add another wide receiver for Jaden Daniels and that wide receiver room, because Deebo is a playmaker, but he's not a great wide receiver at all. Definitely lacks great route running, struggles to get separation, and he has stone for hands the majority of the time. But yeah, man, overall a decent move indeed. Let me know if you like it. Hard not to like it if you're a Commanders fan, and if you're a Niners fan, I think you 100% understand the situation. Sure, you probably wish you could have probably gotten a 4th or a 3rd, but it's a lot better than just letting him walk at the end of the year or something like that. So all in all, I think it's a pretty fair trade for both sides. And it should be exciting to see what he does with the Commanders offense this season. He should play with a little extra fire this season. Your team essentially quit on you, so he definitely should be a little bit bitter. We'll have to see if he plays with that sort of passion and fire for this upcoming year. And it's funny too, I'm reading a lot of comments on X and whatnot about how the Commanders only traded a 5th rounder for Deebo. It's not that wild, man. It's not that wild, trust me. He was bad last year, and it's a rich contract. I know he only has a year left, but it's a lot of money. A lot of people are comparing that to the Cowboys giving up a 4th round pick for Jonathan Mingo. Well, guess what, man? Jonathan Mingo doesn't have an insane contract right now. There's a thing called a salary cap, bro. Money gets tight, and the Eagles trading a 3rd round for Dotson, again, he's on a cheap contract right now, and he still has a lot of potential. He's not an injury-prone player. He could maybe be a legitimate route runner for the Eagles one day. Deebo Samuel is not a legit wide receiver. He never was. He was that special dual threat RB hybrid sort of gadget on offense. Still a great player, but everyone's saying that, oh, blah, 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 just freaking out. Just think about the facts and watch the tape, or just take a look at the stats from a year ago from Deebo. Not great, man. Not great. But yeah, man, hopefully the start of a very aggressive offseason for the Washington Commanders. It was just reported that the Eagles have a high interest in acquiring Myles Garrett. So right now, the betting favorites to land Myles Garrett are the Washington Commanders. So he's probably going to go to Washington or Philly at this point, but you never know, someone might step up. Now, as far as the Commanders adding another wide receiver, they just might do that in the draft now. We'll have to see, maybe with their first round pick. But I'm telling you, if Chris Godwin is available, I know he's another very injury prone player, but if he's available and you could get him on like a cheap, low term deal, like a 1 year, 2 year deal contract, I love that for the timeline of this team. You know, Jaden is on his rookie deal right now, so now is the time to add as many pieces as you can possibly can, because once he gets that monster, insane contract, if Dak Prescott can become the highest paid player in NFL history, Jaden can easily be way more. He can exceed that easily. So now is the time for them to be aggressive. Chris Godwin, I like that move a lot. We'll see if the Bucs actually don't re-sign him. But that would just make a lot of sense to me. Chris Godwin, Terry McLaurin, Deebo Samuel. Still have your depth guys like Noah Brown. You got to bring back Zach Ertz. You have Brian Robinson. You still have Eckler on the books. Pretty good offense. Pretty good offense. Really exciting times for sure. So yeah, man, let me know what you think about this news. Do you like the trade? Do you not like the trade? Did you want Deebo to go somewhere else, or are you happy with the team he went to? Let me know what you think down below. If you made this far, please subscribe and like the vid. It'd help out your boy a ton. That's all I got for right now. Peace.
Got to give a lot of credit to the defense. They were all over the run that time, and they only give up a short gain.
An extra tight end on the field for this one. The Jets snap it at the 41. Flip to the outside.